Just a Thought, a show that starts with a simple premise and explores how different people view different subjects. The greatest philosophies, the most revolutionary changes, and the greatest inventions. And all of them started with just a thought.
What's happening? What's happening, good people? We know we are late because we normally start at 7, so we appreciate those who showed up at 7. No excuses, just facts on it. Our real people, turns out. And we got things we got to do on a good Sunday, and we ran a little late, so here we are, just to make sure we honor our part with the great 810 News Media Group, who has allowed us to tell you what's going on in the 202. And if you're not familiar with that, that is the District of Columbia, aka your nation's capital, or as we like to affectionately call it, Ground Zero for 2026 and beyond. You see, Anna is sporting the good Washington fight for old DC, and she got free DC. She DC'd up. She got more DC parrot than I do. It ain't that a shame? I'm a whole DC native. But she's been in these streets longer than I have, so it's only just. What's happening, Felicia Martinez? Thank you for joining us. What's up, Judge Boy? Top of the evening to you, fam. Hello from the 202. And Hope Weasley, thank you for joining us in the chat. Y'all know what to do. 810 has always been good to us. The first order of business is to make sure you hit that or smash that like button and let us know that you're here. And more importantly, let them know that we're here from the 202 at 810. We know y'all love to hear about Flint, but we hope that you love to hear about DC too, because once again, it is your nation's capital. And whatever happens here is surely to happen down the line. So we gonna get to it. We won't belabor you. We'll say hello to people as they come into the chat. Once again, we know it's 8 o'clock, and we appreciate you being here on this good Sunday. I'm gonna kick it off in the honor to get us started on tonight's conversation.
We're going to be freelancing because there's so much going on. Whew, I didn't get no video. We were going to do eventually part 2 for what we did the last time. But we're not going to do that tonight. So we're talking about different subjects that are going on around, which a lot of y'all probably already been talking about. But it's just a thought, so our views might be a little different. But this week, a lot's going on coming up this week. I don't know what y'all are doing in Flint, but MLK, that time is coming around. So hopefully y'all got some great activities going on in Flint, Michigan. I know in DC, starting actually from tomorrow, there's going to be events all the way until the 19th. So I don't know, Yogi G. That's about it.
I'm not gonna hold you. I really had to Google whether or not we were still celebrating Martin Luther King Day, because last time I checked, our Orange Fuhrer said So I'm still kind of like in the wind. I know what Google said. They said we still celebrate, and I know what the news media
still to celebrate.
They said they took it off the calendar. So if anybody in the chat got the facts, hit me with them, because I want to make sure I'm showing up accordingly and not celebrating outside of the Senate.
We don't want to get in trouble with Agent Orange.
Oh man, we too close.
Agent Orange is in trouble. Agent Orange is in trouble right now as we speak, supposedly. So I know you. I don't know. Al Green has been in the news. You know who Al Green is, from Texas. And he was in the news the other day because he's bringing the articles of impeachment back for Trump. How many times, Yogi G, how many times Trump has been put up for impeachment?
More times than we can count.
More than times than we can count.
On anyway. That's what we know for sure.
More than normal. More than it don't make any sense. One day we need to talk about what impeachment is and where's the power at in impeachment. Like, cause it's just something people put all their money for, say we need to remove this guy. Is it going to work? I do have like a little video that I could put, if you see anyone in the chat talking, I could put up, kind of talk about part of a subject that we can talk about. Y'all probably already talked about what's going on in Minneapolis, but I just want to share a small session. Yogi, if you see anyone in the chat, I'm just going to put this up. Give me 1 second.
Nah, man, we on the boudoir hours right now on a good Sunday. People got work in the morning, so the chat might be a little silent. But if you do decide that you want to pop up and ask some questions or something like that, I see you and I got you. But while you prep the video, I will speak to this. I have been kind of following between having conversations with people I know on Instagram in Minneapolis and still following my newest goodest friend, Jolly Good Ginger. If you've seen a hardy white man that has been cussing out the military, National Guards, and things like that, that is Jolly Good Ginger, and he is currently boots to the ground in Minneapolis and giving all the people down there support. It has really taken a shift, and I'm gonna let Anna go ahead and share this video with you guys, and we'll get into it.
It's just going to be a couple parts. I just want y'all to hear what this lady is saying, all the things that are going on. There's some parts on here because not only we have what happened to Renee Good, but we also have what's going on in Venezuela. We also have things that are going on right here with the tariffs. There's a lot of things that are coming up. Hopefully, I don't think the Senate voted. That's another thing that is in the news in here. Hopefully, I don't think the Senate has voted yet, but I know that at least 17 Republicans did vote to at least for the, what they keep calling the Obamacare, but it's really called the Affordable Care Act, to make sure that it lasts for another 3 years before they go into. That was the reason why we went into that government shutdown, was for that. So I'm glad that 17 Republicans did. That's still not good because there's more than them, but at least that allows for that to continue for 3 years. But people did get hit around October. Give me 1 second. Let me press play.
What's happening, Denise? Thank you for joining us.
To cooperate with local authorities on a thorough investigation and sending even more federal agents into a community whose leaders have called on them to leave. Joining me now is Republican strategist Jennifer Horn and Kimberly Atkins Stahl, columnist for the Boston Globe. Kimberly, I'd like to start with you. The Trump administration seems to be headed for a showdown over whether this ICE agent will be investigated and held accountable. Is there any parallel for the way the Trump administration has handled this so far? And is it sustainable legally? Like I just said, talking with Attorney Benjamin Crump, the Trump administration didn't even take that position in George Floyd. As you know, I was at the forefront of that. Can this be sustained now, and why now?
Yeah, so to answer your first question, Rev, I've not, in my recent history, known anything like this, a full attempt to obstruct an investigation involving an ICE agent, a federal agent, in a fatal shooting like we saw, let alone it. And it's more than that. It's an effort to completely control the narrative and declare the agent to be innocent and acting in self-defense before an investigation even began. It was before they'd barely taken Renee Cook's body from the scene when this messaging started coming from federal officials. One crucial difference here between this case and that of George Floyd's murder was that involved a local police officer. So that investigation started and ended at the local level. The local and state officials had priority. And if you recall, Derek Chauvin was prosecuted in state court and convicted. In this case, because it is a federal agent, the federal government has a much broader role, and they're trying to Bigfoot local and state investigations, while local and state officials still have the right to conduct a parallel investigation here. They're just making it very difficult for them to do so.
And they had agreed to this the first day or so, and then all of a sudden it went asunder. Jennifer, a poll from AP-NORC in December, before this incident even occurred, showed President Trump's disapproval on immigration had risen to over 60%. Can the administration resist a mass movement against them if that's what's developing, especially when they're criticizing, trying to criticize the repression of these mass demonstrations in other countries like Iran while you're dealing with these issues here at home?
Right. Right. Well, first, Reverend, if I may very quickly say, I'm no longer a Republican. I just want to make that clear to everyone. I'm an independent. I left the party several years ago. I'm not at all surprised by that number, that 60%. What we've seen coming out of this administration under ICE is worse than circumstances that our country has responded to very aggressively in the past in other countries. This is a path toward authoritarianism. And what the biggest, problem for the Trump administration is that the people see it, they know it, they get it. One of the things that I just am shocked by is that the immediate response by J.D. Vance and Kristi Noem and the administration in general after this happened in Minnesota, that the ICE agent who killed this woman filmed himself doing it on his own phone. And then they released that thinking somehow it was going to show that he was in the right in doing so. An agent of the United States government never dropped the phone, was never in a position where he behaved in any way like he was in danger, shot her 3 times, and then called her an effing bitch as she tried to drive away. If that 60% stays that low in the coming months, I'll be shocked.
No, and we had a gun in one hand and the phone filming himself with the other.
Right. Like with all due, like some idiot teenager on TikTok thinking he's cool, filming himself doing something. The most grotesque action that I can imagine our government partaking in, and then filming himself doing it at the same time.
Kimberly, switching topics. The Supreme Court is expected to issue its next set of rulings on Wednesday. What should we be watching for, particularly on tariffs and maybe voting rights?
Yes.
Next set of rulings.
Because you can come back on the stage. Bring it back down. And come down. All right. You're on mute. What's your thoughts?
Mick, if you are on your messenger, I'm hitting you up. Honestly, give me a second. I'm taking it all in. Go ahead, talk your talk, Anna.
Oh, the question is for you. Before I start talking, I want to see what you got from that. Who is on the chat?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to take care of the chat. So if you go ahead and say your thing.
Go ahead. Go back through the chat, and then there's people. You can go ahead and take over the chat. Go ahead.
That's the me and Mickey thing.
They're talking to you. They're calling you a fraud.
No, I wasn't talking. Go ahead, Anna.
No, I'm asking you a question. You can go over the chat. There's people that've been talking, like saying hi.
Those are people who are trolling in the chat, Anna.
No, there's people before that.
There was nobody that was saying anything.
Family was on there. Jasmine, there was other people.
Evening, Jasmine, how you doing? Thank you for joining us.
Let me go back up. You
Family Woods, thank you so much for joining us, man. We appreciate you holding us down and showing up, especially this late at night. Yeah. So I don't know how to feel about everything that's going on right now. It seems like the world is in a complete spiral, and for those who know the history and the true history of America, it is very alarming right now to see the lengths that people are going to just kind of go out of their way to make it very exclusive when the American dream has always, ideally, as we've been participating in it, everybody has been working to try to make it as inclusive as possible. So I have some other thoughts towards it, but I'd love to hear what you got to say. Go ahead.
I didn't hear your thoughts.
Do I need to turn this thing up? Hello? Can y'all hear me? Because I don't think Anna can hear. You know, she's a senior.
You a senior. You were auntie, just like I'm an auntie.
Not as far as you are.
No,
Hey,
you is in your 40s. Past your 40. You is past 44.
No, I'm not.
You be 44 this year.
I know you losing it.
You will be 44 this year. You is not young. I'm acting like you young.
You can hear me. Stanley said he can hear me, so you need to be setting your doctor's appointment today. I gave my thoughts. You can't force me.
I didn't hear your thoughts.
Stanley Willis can hear you. If you were listening clearly, I said my thoughts.
You must be going in and out. I don't know. Because you said something about you and Mickey. Is there something wrong with the screen or something?
Hey, Stanley, you got mod opportunities. Can you come over to the cell phone side? We got a little troll who wants to be seen today, but they're not paying no fees. We got a super chat if you really want to get it up, and we'll discuss it. But yeah.
Is it two different chats on here? Is this what this is?
Yes, it's two different chats.
Okay. Is Mickey still around?
I don't know. I've been calling for Mickey for a minute.
Mickey! Mickey must
continue on. It's 8:16. These people in here.
I know. I asked you a question. I literally asked you a question. What is your feelings about what the two ladies are saying? You didn't say anything. You just said something. I have my thoughts. Do you have a video?
Let me say to you that I was distracted by the chat and I was trying to manage the chat, so I did not hear it. That's why I gave you my thoughts in the whole so that you can keep moving forward. Y'all gotta see us behind the scenes, y'all. You think Mickey and Winters be having some issues? You need to check out me and Honor because I'm about to lose it.
Look, you better stop
Carry
playing.
On, damn. Yeah. Carry on. Let the people know you.
Go ahead, you're next. That's your thoughts. Go ahead. You just said you had a video to put up. Go ahead.
I didn't say I had a video to put up, man.
You said Mickey go on Messenger. Come on, DC Native. You want to mess with me tonight? Come on. Come on, DC Native.
I don't want the chat to see us blow up at each other at 8:17 p.m. on a Sunday. Please,
man. Once you get to know me, I like to talk trash.
What's going on,
Mickey? Please find out what she's been sending you behind the scene, and she's looking at some chat that I do not see. Can you please assist her? Because she said it's a Mickey and her thing, and I'm like figuring like, what is going on?
It's I'm like, if you talk about something you sent me in Messenger.
I was saying that there was a issue in the chat. And
I'll get to it. I was in here. I got you. I get it.
I can't see it.
Right.
I got you.
Thank you.
I'm getting it together right now.
He said, now I saw it because he's putting it on the stage now.
I wasn't trying to. I got it.
Okay, this is my first time seeing this stuff on here. Lord help us. Mickey, what platforms are we on? Is this YouTube comments or is this Facebook?
Y'all seeing us operate in real time, so we appreciate your patience as we work on these things.
No, see what it is, which I don't Honor, because Honor don't really be here all the time. But what it is, you're on the YouTube side with the second string, so you're gonna have to, people gonna come up and say some things like that. It ain't all on no different platforms. That's all it is.
Mm-hmm.
Kawana said you trying to get a nap in. Hi, Kawana. I be saying people's names wrong. Denise Kersons. Did I say it right? She said, pretend you're on the radio.
Right.
I'm gonna put it like that. Hopefully, we do not get no craziness. So, my thoughts from it was the fact was more with the lady. The lady was now saying she was changing parties due to what happened. So my thing is, I know have you saw that a lot of people have already been killed in ICE's custody. You had the guy, and then you also had the guy on December 31st that was supposedly he was shooting a gun, and the off-duty ICE agent shot him. So it's like a list of people that have been affected by this. But here we are in the same city where George Floyd was life was taken by a police officer, and supposedly they're less than a couple radius away from each other. So when they were showing the map, both of them were killed like less than spaces. So it's just something how, and it's not supposed to be put the race divide with us, but it's just something how now they're saying a mass of people are coming out here to protest for this. And now people want to change their party. I don't know about you. The party from day one, even before he got in office, should have been people, in my opinion, in my thoughts, people should have been left the party. But why do you think people are changing their party with this particular case?
Well, I think that everybody is down for the cause until if something happens that they can't get down with. I think it's very shocking for some to see the degrees that we've reached, especially with this ICE situation. And some people still are wholeheartely invested. Thanks, Stanley. I appreciate you. And what's happening, Marcia Talbot and Kawana, we see you. Thank you for coming through. I think that
we were just shopping.
Oh yeah. I just think that everybody is just shocked and trying to get on the better side of a violent situation that nobody thought or it would get to this point where people are being unalived. And then on top of someone being unalived, quite a few people being unalived by ICE. Now they're going in Minnesota, they're going door to door and actually like kicking people doors in and things like that to go apprehend people. So it's taken a whole nother turn that people are trying to settle their nervous system with, right? Like nobody thought that we would be in potential civil war with each other. I don't think any of us thought that we would have to revisit such a brutal part of history. But here we are. And I think that as the days go on and things continue to like... Go ahead.
Do you think it must, for some reason, it looks lag on my side? Do you think, like when I look at the whole situation, the recording, I don't want to put the recording up, but if you look at the recording, she's nicely saying, "I'm not mad at you" to the ICE agent. I forgot his name is, the fool's name is Jonathan, but she's being polite to him because in her mind, she doesn't think that he will harm her. But as you see, the other ICE agent comes out and yanks on her door. I know for me, as soon as that guy would have got out of his car and started coming towards my car, I would have backed up and left immediately, because I knew automatically in my mind, I feel like they would have pulled out immediately and said, especially when he got his hands on that car, he said, "Get out." I knew right then and there, you better follow every darn rule. But why do you think? I'm not saying that she did anything wrong and she should have had this happen to her. But why do you think that she decided to back up instead of, even though the guy said, "I need you to step out"? Well, he didn't say anything. He said, "Get the F out." I can't curse on here. Why do you think that she decided to back up instead of get out?
When people are in fear of their life and unsure of the person that's not trying to show that they are legit, they're not showing no credentials or anything like that, people respond out of fear. She wanted to get out of there.
You don't think she had you don't think she had a view of what was surrounded by her?
I can't say. Nobody can say in that conversation. From what it looked like to me, she was somebody that was frightened, who didn't want to have to suffer consequences, who had people yelling and screaming, giving her multiple directions, and that was her reaction to get out of there. That's why the lights was in reverse.
So when she went in reverse, and she moved forward in the recording, there's the guy saying something to her. Do you think that when she went forward, do you think that the guy in front of her, do you think she had anything to do with touching him, like the way they claim? You think she touched him with a car or nipped him, or she didn't touch him? These are just thoughts and questions.
From the angles that I saw, it looked like that it may have brushed him. He was still walking away after he shot her, and he shot her in the face, so he wasn't harmed. So
do you think he was justifiable for having? Do you think that played a role in it for what he did? You know how they say he had his phone out, right? In today's, pretty much, I don't know if all ICE agents, but he really wasn't an official ICE agent because they said he was hired a long time ago. But do you think in today's time, if an officer does not have their body, well, they're not police officers, have their body cam, is it okay for them to take out their phones when they're about to approach somebody?
I don't think that is something that is like, if you're actively on duty and you're pulling out your phone, how are you doing both of the things? I'm a little confused. I'm not ambidextrous like that. But I feel like I'm being interrogated, so I'm gonna move to chat because my mind ain't wrapped too tight.
No, wait a minute. Let's keep the conversation. I can go if it's too much, because I don't want you to misunderstand where I'm going with this. These are the claims that were said on this. When the guy was in the chat, with the last thing I heard, he said that's a lie. They're lying, right? And so when you're hearing these two ladies describing what happened, I'm asking you from your view, what do you see? What do you see, right? Not from a perspective like it's the ending point where she got hurt, but it's more from the beginning. Like for me, if I was in a vehicle and the people told me that I needed to leave, I'm going to leave. I'm just being honest with you. But when I see officers getting out of a vehicle coming towards me, and I'm not going to wave. I'm just saying me. I'm not going to wave cars. I'm going to get up out of Dodge. Being a brown person, especially in this climate, for my safety. Now, once that officer gets close to me, these are my thoughts. The way I would do, I will stop, hand my ID, and I will not move because I'm a brown person. Go ahead. You can go to the chat.
Right. So Denise said they put people on the defense off the bat. They are trying to confuse people into making mistakes. So you gotta keep up. Honestly, you rusty. You come
Marcia
back.
I know you ain't being slick.
No,
go to Marcia. Marcia was the first one. Stop being slick.
Marcia is talking to I ain't going.
I don't know, but that's what I'm saying. I'm seeing the comments. You trying to throw shade up in here.
Shade. That's how you perceive things. That's how you hear things.
No, that's how I heard it, girl. You better stop.
Why would I wait until
go ahead.
Sit here and try and go back and forth? Jesus, goodness.
Girl, I'm playing with you. Come on.
Yes, Lord. Okay, Denise. They put people on the defensive off the bat. They are trying to confuse people into making mistakes so they can arrest them. I would add to that, Denise, that I've heard, I have not vetted myself by doing my own research, that there are some underlying benefit if this should be some form of civil war that breaks out, or should they start seeing people be opposing to ICE in a violent way, then that justifies the next steps that they're looking for. Because we heard Agent Orange say several times he's looking to maintain being president. He don't want to exchange the seat. He don't want to have to go through no election and nothing like that. So they're looking for every point that they can to justify it. All right, Stanley said, I'm a firm believer to follow directions, remain silent, hand them your ID. That's it. If you get arrested or detained, you can follow suit later, but you'll still be alive. Yeah, I think that is the first thing that we learn to do with us Black and brown people, Stanley. Sometimes that ain't even enough. We got people who be minding their business, like the young man who was out there, despite how he decided to celebrate the new year. Now he's no longer with us. Jasmine 176 said people of color are trained to follow police orders, and we know what could potentially happen. Okay. Someone said, I hope Alcohol's Anonymous Plus says, I hope you guys are categorizing all ICE agents with this one. I do agree with the host. Marcia says, so to that matter at hand, these ICE agents aren't law enforcement, a majority, and receive minimal training. Again, minimal training. I can't understand how this woman was smiling one moment, backs up and ends up dead. Kawana said, ICE has the okay to take lives without any consequences. They are untrained, racist people who crave having power over others. We appreciate you, Marcia. Yeah, okay. Boom. There we go.
That's the whole chat.
That's the whole chat.
Sorry.
That's
Where's
it.
your video? You want to put your video up?
I don't have a video, man.
You went Mickey on the. Oh, you were telling Mickey about what was going on in the chat. Well, you could have said that. Oh my God, we really help me. I'm thinking you tell him about a video because I was like, probably I could find the video. Okay. Change the subject. All right. We have. Oh, what did she write on there? Hold on. Is that for us or she's talking to someone else? That last one, Yogi.
In a fair world, you could just believe that if you comply, it will be okay. When has this ICE shown anything fair? Someone said, and then Alcohol's Anonymous says, racism is dumb. All people are the same. It even states that in the Bible.
Yes, you're right, Kawana. Yogi G has choked out. Checked out. I say choked out. Oh, help me, Lord. She. I haven't been on here in a minute. I guess her and Mickey, they have this thing going on Friday.
Don't you start
I'm not mixing in good, so I'm getting picked on right now. I'm not understanding what's going on, so I'm getting bullied today.
You ain't getting bullied. You trying to tell you in real time.
That's what I'm free DC. That's who I am. I'm getting choked out today. I got the slick talk going on.
Marcia said focus.
I am focused. My person ain't talking. My person's sitting there like.
I just think that we all have to. I'm sitting here talking.
Come on now.
Listen, the fact of the matter is that if you're watching, whether it's in Minneapolis, whether it's in Portland, whether it's in California, these are not times that we are used to seeing with our own eyes. We're used to reading in the history books. And at the end of the day, you have to make some really important decisions about how we're showing up.
I wish I could, Mickey. Go ahead, Yolo. Mickey writing in the chat.
We gotta make some decisions about how we showing up. Talk to the chat right quick and let me plug my computer up.
You need to see the chat.
No, I need to plug my computer up. I said you talk.
I'd rather look like a Muppet than sit here and be confused. Because I'm confused right now. I'm tired. We've been at the grocery store. We went all the way up to the grocery store, came all the way back, still healing on my foot. I'm everywhere around this city fighting and advocating for my rights for everyone right in this city. I'm sitting there studying, researching. I mean, I work full time. I have 2 girls that I'm focused on. And hearing this news, let me tell you something. It's a lot going on. So when I don't understand what's going on, I'm like, what is going on? We're not conversating. It's not personal. I'm just saying we're not having a good night. Because we've been busy. But I literally just dropped Yogi G off from the grocery store. So we've been together all day. Because this is what we do. We half the time we with each other. We're not just 2 people to get on here on one day and talk. We talk all the time. So I'm gonna wait till she comes back on, because I don't do chats. Like, I don't do confusion. I don't understand. I'm just saying, like, what is going on? I'm just asking a question.
Thank you. Appreciate you, sir. All
You're on your
right.
computer now?
So, yeah. So I guess we can end it by talking about what is happening in DC, because once again we are from the 202, so it's only right if we tell you what's happening in our neck of the woods. Per usual, like everybody else is dealing with, we have our Titanic is sinking here in the District of Columbia, and we're trying every way that we can to be able to get people together and rallied up. They done changed the system on us. We got ranked choice voting, and ain't too much education happening in these streets about that, so we kind of worried about that. Our mayor is leaving. We got a couple of people from the Suite 13 council that are leaving. I think about maybe 6 people. We got one person that's about to be on a federal trial in our Ward 8. Man, DC is going through it. But hopefully, it's harder and harder to even talk that word hope with everything that's going on these days. But like, I'll use it tonight because I can't find another word to say. But hopefully, this will be an opportunity for us as a community, as a city, to step up and start putting some people in power that are going to be representative of all the struggle in DC and just collective. So, Honor.
Go ahead. You said you was going to talk about DC. Let's change it. Bring something. What do you, when you made that comment about, what do you call them? The Suite 13? You said the Suite 13?
Yeah, the Suite 13. Sorry, I was saying what Marcia was putting in the chat.
She said I posted 5 things to do and stopped.
Mm-hmm.
On Facebook or on?
It's in the chat.
Oh, it's in the chat. Go ahead.
She said I posted the top 5 things to do when stopped that went something like this. Ask, am I being detained? Ask if the officer has a reasonable articulate suspicion that a crime has been committed, is being committed, or is about to be committed. Invoke your 4th and 5th Amendment rights by stating you are not answering any without a lawyer present and that you choose to be silent. Also state out loud that you don't consent to any searches or seizures of your property or papers. She said she posted it a while ago in another chat.
Do we have access to that chat?
Marcia was asking where can we find that information. Who is running for mayor in DC? Anna, could you answer that for the chat?
We have a lot of people running for mayor in DC, but there's only about 3 official people. I can't remember the guy's first name, but it's a guy by the last name of Gross. He's running. Janice, I say her name wrong. Janice George. What's her last name?
Janice Lewis George.
Janice Lewis George. And we have one more person, but he had to, the word is out that he's going to run. But right now he had to step down as a council. So we technically have 12 council members. And he's stepping down because he had to change party affiliation. He ran as an independent to become our at-large council member. He used to be our Ward 5 council member, and that's Kenyon McDuffie. And so he's someone that is out there that eventually will make the announcement that they're running. But on January 23rd is when people will go to pick up their petitions. So after that first week, and you'll probably be able to say more people. But Yogi G, actually, you could talk about the BOE because you've worked there.
What exactly about the BOE? So
like
the BOE,
when they announce, not the petition, not when the petitions get picked up, that same week they start to put the names of who's possibly running, because they still got to get petitions signed.
So what Anna is talking about is our Board of Elections, and that's the agency, our independent agency here that handles election time. That's where our ballots are processed and brought to written or electronic. We confirm the signatures, and it's a lengthy process. As far as dates, I'm not quite sure. You can always go to the website whenever anybody declares candidacy and things like that. It comes up on the website. So we got to do our research and come back a little more put together. As you can see, we a little scattered tonight. But when we get it together and I start looking at the DOE, we'll have more details about how many people are actually running for these seats and how important this is to our governance.
We have council people that are running too. So I think Ward 1 is up. Ward 1. I think our ward is up, right, Yogi G? Ward 5?
Yes, Ward 5 is up. Ward 1 is up.
One at-large member, right? Position is open? Or is it 2? Oh, it's 2, because Anita Bond's position and Kenya McDuffie's position. So now we have 2 at-large member positions that people can run for. So at-large councils, and then we have Ward 5 and Ward 1. I don't think there's no other ward, right? I don't want to say the wrong thing.
Ward 8, because of the federale case against Trayon White. So we won't know if he'll have to relinquish his seat or not until his federal case starts up. I think it's starting up soon.
So will they have a special election, or we don't know?
Right. Yeah.
Or would they put them like a regular, like in November, for people to run for Ward 8?
I think it might result in having a special election.
Okay.
Yeah, y'all got 9 wards. We got 8 wards, Stanley. So not all of our positions are up. We got some people, I think, that are I think there was some talk about our chairman position, who is like closest to our mayor. As far as powers. Yeah, so we got some important seats that are coming up too. Not quite everybody, but enough people say that they either weren't returning or their term was up. So yeah, we're looking at a little bare bones right now as far as leadership that's going to hold us down during this takeover.
And then because we're not a state, Eleanor Holmes Norton, who is our DC delegate, there's several people running for that position. Then we have like, I say the names wrong, Robert White, Jacques Patterson, Brooks Pinto, and of course Kenny, who I'm doing an event with. And I don't know, there might be a lot more people than that, but those are the 4 people that I'm aware of, more of. If there's other people that are running, it's probably going to be like 15 people. But as far as DC is a blue city, so you will have a lot of candidates that run on the blue side. As far as the Republican side, you'll probably have 1 person, because in DC there's less than the last time they count, there's less than 15 to 20,000 people that are registered Republicans in DC. So usually the red candidate never gets in. Independents will get in way before, even though they're not in that primary. But like we had the show recently, ranked choice voting is going to open up the doors for a lot of people. But as far as in DC is a blue city. It's a Democratic city. And it's unfortunate we're not a state, so we don't have no say. But one thing we do is this is a Democratic city. It's very hard for a Republican to come in this city and get elected. I don't even know if we've had people that were registered Republicans, like Carol Schwartz, and she changed to an independent and became a council person.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if you know of any other historical Republicans, but they changed their parties.
I'm still a student of my dear city, so I'm learning along the way. As soon, like I promised the chat, I am going to school and risking some plantation time and thousands of dollars to learn all of these things. So that's not one thing that has come across my student desk just yet. And Marcia, I see you in the chat. Is that for us or is that for the chat? Just wanted to make sure we weren't missing something. No, but I'm gonna be honest and transparent. That these last couple of days with everything that's been going on have like really been stifling to my psyche, you know. And us being here in the District of Columbia is a little mind blowing to me because if you think about it, when everything breaks down and everything starts popping off, you know, you if you see it, you don't know if it's true, if it's not, if it's AI, if it's not. You gotta do your due diligence and still show up at the day. It's a lot happening. Um, Oh, she said that's for DC's election. She said, who's doing the vetting and posting to what sites? I'd love to see the background and qualifications of each candidate. As far as who's doing the vetting, I'm not quite sure on that part. I know that a lot of the candidates just put up their own websites and you kind of go from there. Our candidates do a roundabout in the community. If it's at large and they hit all 8 wards, then you have opportunity to meet up with them at a coffee shop or something like that and kind of talk through your grievances or talk through your issues and stuff. Or they had a constituent services people who come out and they do the legwork. Or there are times when there's organizations who support candidates and they do the legwork. So, I mean, honestly, DC gets a lot of engagement when it comes to voting time. And even when it's not voting time, I have to say, even if they might be not be our favorite council member, they still do the work to make sure that they are putting boots to the ground to at least hear from the community. They might not always do what we want them to do, but at least they put the work in to go out there and meet us in the community, and we are engaged in the process. But I was just saying, you know, I'm hoping that everybody gives each other grace during these times. I, in my lifetime, have never seen anything like it, and reading the history books does not compare to what you're experiencing in real time. And these days, I'm just really considering how am I best preparing my family on top of still trying to be a part of the democratic process. There are some realities that we have to tap into. Like if you have to get out in an emergency, what does your emergency bag look like? For me, it's about building a community just in case we get cut off from the internet. I'm working to like really get to know my community in case we had a shortage for food because we're government dependent. Like there's so many thoughts that are going through my mind these days that I can't even keep up. And that's still with me being expected to show up as a student, as a mother, as an individual. So I'm just interested how you holding on chat with these days going on and stuff like that. So if anybody got any words of encouragement on how they are holding on, then let us know. Marcia said, do they hold a candidates forum at any point during campaign season? That would be a good time to hear from each as to their reasons for running and subject to the broken promises. You got
Oh, you want me to answer? Yes, they hold a lot of candidacy. DC Democracy Now! Is a group actually this week. They're having a forum, the Washington Teachers Union. They have a forum where they put the candidates on. And so these couple of weeks, they're actually doing the DC delegate, which is actually Eleanor Norton's seat. She has not announced that she will not be running. However, we have a lot of people that want to run against her. I forgot to add, my friend actually, Kamon Freeman, is actually running for DC delegate. And so we have this week, we have several groups that are literally putting the platform out. A lot of nonprofits that are allowed to have candidates. And then we have like the organizations that we advocate with, where they already have relationships with a lot of these people that are running. And so what they do is have an event with a cause, a panel, and then these people from all mass of the city come in and have a conversation, and you get to meet people that possibly might be running. In DC, usually people don't announce they're running until they got their team. So we're going to start hearing a lot more people. And because DC has had so many issues with Trump taking over our police department, with immigration running, with the troops coming up and down my street, with the massive protests. Every time you go outside, you see mass flags. You have Venezuelan flags. Today we saw when we was driving the Palestinian flags, they were protesting. And you have the people that are for Trump protesting too. DC is we just had the proud. What was that event they had on January 6th, the anniversary of when they over the cap? We just had that.
Something.
We just had that. Can't get the name right, but all of these things we see every single day. But one thing about DC, there's always an opportunity, whether you have money or not, they will make a space for you to be able to get on a platform and show who you are and talk. That is one thing I do know in DC. The opportunity is there for people that might have an interest or just might be playing around, because some people say they want to run and they're really just saying that to see who is possibly listening, who they can get around. But there's a couple groups. I'm going to a group tomorrow called DC Women in Politics. I was invited to an event tomorrow, and I'm so excited. Most of these places, you have to be invited. And this event right here is like a cocktail, but it's for women in politics. So like women that have showed in their time of being out here that they've either ran or they ever been on a ballot or they're interested. And you pay to go to some of their events, and then after that you get invited. So you pay because at the end of the day, people don't get to eat for free. When you go to these events, they got to put up food. I'm actually throwing an event. Mine is not a candidate forum, but I do have two candidates that are running, and I'm doing it on Thursday. The event that I'm having is more of the the voices of our community. So I have a gentleman by the name of Reverend Motley. I have a guy by the name of Mustafa Tariq. He's an Emmy Award winner of documentaries. He's written a lot of documentaries in our community. And then I have a candidate for DC delegate, Kenny. And then I have Ward 1, Jackie Reyes. And the conversation is faith, education, immigration, and infrastructure. And that is going to be my event on Thursday. So but just to answer that, Marcia, we constantly always have events. But with Reverend Motley, the reason why I was I've met him before, but I've never really had a conversation with him. Not until actually the day we were in Ward 8, and me and Yogi G were literally at a table. Yogi G knows him a little bit more. She could talk about that, but I literally conversed with him. And it was something that he gave me his number. We conversed several times on the phone, and I'm happy that this gentleman has a history. He actually was the mayor for life. He actually was his minister. And then on top of that, anytime something in that family needed, he was the minister that they use. He's a historian. He's a great guy. But if you want to talk a little bit about him, Yogi G, that'd be good. Reverend Motley.
Yeah. So Reverend Motley is like on the said, for me, as being a student of his, and he taught in high school and stuff, he's just really somebody that we look up to, who always showed up in the community. And he also is serious about his history in DC education specifically, and probably a little more. But I know him from an educational space, and I also am looking forward to hearing from him and excited about seeing the fruits of honest labor of putting this wonderful panel together. And Anna Marcia wants to know when is your event? She wants to see if she can get a trip to DC happening.
My event is actually literally this Thursday. This is it's a panelist discussion with the people, and then of course I'm going to continue to make more of them. So there's other positions that people are running for, and I am actually running for House of Representative in the nation's capital. But with the position that I'm running for, it's a shadow because in DC we're not a state. So it's not a paid position. It's a position where you are an advocate on the Hill, and you're basically fighting to make sure that, which has been going on for years. DC has been fighting to be a state. That's another conversation for another day. This event that I was putting on was like a great community conversation, but we need to talk more. Even with me, I'm about to get in a different space that I have not been in a while. Always in advocating mode, but when you're running for something, it's a whole nother view on how things are done in the city. And so there's ways you respect groups that have been here, who have paved the way, and I make sure to follow those people that have been here. So I've actually, this hat that I'm actually wearing is the original group that actually started Free DC. There is an organization in DC called Free DC, but they're called Free DC Project. But these two, several women, Lillian Huff, Anish Jenkins, and Joyce Robinson Paul, started this Stand Up for Democracy. And Joyce had pretty much was like, Anna, I'm gonna give you a historical hat, and I was honored to that. I was able to meet Anish Jenkins. These are the original 3 Black women in DC who fought, who have been locked up. Joyce has not been locked up, but the other ones have advocating and fighting for the cause, because some of us will run and hide and will talk, but they won't stand there.
Somebody gotta tell the story. Listen, don't do this Joyce like that. Somebody gotta tell the story. Everybody can't be behind bars. Somebody gotta let people know that you in bars so you can get out of there. So yeah,
so I have to watch everything I do on here. So when I get confused, I got to be careful. I can't play with nobody on this social media. So when I don't know what's going on, I get confused, and I don't want nothing to be put out there to make it seem like I am like anything. So I'm very protective of what I'm talking about when I'm asking questions, because you're looked upon so hard when you're running for a position than just someone who's walking across and talking to people that are in those positions. Because we can always be a critic to a person that's in a position until they're in that position. And I've learned how to, even though I get upset with a lot of, even our council member that we have for Ward 5, a lot of things he does I don't agree with. But when you start to see a lot of the things that the legislative writing things that he wrote, and the things that he does write, you have to think about those things. And so sometimes your council member could be good, and sometimes in some areas are not. And then sometimes we can be selfish people. We want that council or that person elected to just focus on our issue and not the issue abroad. And that goes for anyone. That is not a specific group of people, Republicans, Democrat. That is just period. And in politics, it gets messy. I don't know. Yogi G's been around with a lot of political groups. And I remember, if we could talk about it, I remember one time going with her, and it was the night that Ward 7, where all the candidates were actually all in the same spot. And the stuff that I saw, I was like, this is messy, but it's politics. And so when you want to get in politics, it's messy. If you want to talk a little bit more, because you belong to, you do a lot with organizations that actually prep people, lead them, teach them how to be community organized, be in political spaces, or even run for office.
I mean, I think politics is politics anywhere you go. But here in DC, it is very much relationship oriented. So you do have to be careful about like who you're talking to and what you're talking about to them, because you never know how that's going to affect you if you are a candidate. But I will say, just being somebody who has traveled to different spaces and talked to people who are organized in different spaces, I think the privilege of being in DC even though we don't have full autonomy over our choices, is that we do have a system that has been working for us to be able to feel like we're a part of the process and be heard, whether it's you directly talking to your council member or even a candidate, or you exercising your voice and going to the Wilson Building, which is where our mayor and our council leadership do the day-to-day business at, in our John Wilson Building. You can go in there; it's an open building. And you can go walk right into their offices, and if you got a gripe on your heart, you can say it. And so I do understand the privilege that we have in advocating and being in the District of Columbia. So yeah, what's up, Black Mass? Thank you for joining us. Oh, so listen. Before we get out of here, Marcia wants to know, will your event be live streamed? Because they really want to be able to tap in and hear about what you put together in your panel.
Oh, I didn't hear that. I'm sorry. I didn't hear, because this computer is on, what you call it, when we're being funny about our Wi-Fi?
Oh, it's losing me. But she was asking, was you want to be live streaming it? Because she wanted to be able to catch up with it.
That's what I'm working on now, literally trying to find the right person. I wanted to make people come into the room, honestly, because, but I guess, the person that I'm trying to find to do it, I will let you know by Tuesday. I think, all right, Yogi, do you be in the chat? Cause I be at work. Mm-hmm. If I do, can you let them in the chat know that I live stream? And the reason why is because I really want people to really, to me, we're on a podcast, right? And we're talking, but it's nothing like sitting across from somebody and really having that heart-to-heart conversation. It's just a little bit different. But if you can express that feeling and all those things while you're online to somebody, to draw them to want to take the time out of their day to listen to what you got to say, that's a great thing. You see all these podcasters, people listen. Like the average person, they say is like, you got a person for like the quick 5 minutes and then their brain is going somewhere else. So I really wanted people to really be in person, to really have that conversation, because a lot of people are running, right? And so when someone asks me, Anna, both of the candidates have actually asked me for a meet and greet. It's another candidate that asked me, and I said, well, the way I do it is I don't want to bring somebody in the room and just introduce people to people. I do that all the time. I know a lot of people in the city, and I do that all the time. And I don't think that's a good way that I feel a candidate who is running. I think you should be able to be in a room that if there's questions being asked, you should be ready to answer them, whether you might think they like it or they do like it. So yeah, I feel you should be honest and transparent what your moves are. And so this panelist is two native Washingtonians, and that's the Reverend Motley and Mustafa, who literally know the history of this city. One is documenting it, has gotten an Emmy, and then the other one has lived it and walked it. So I think when people, what they call, we were having a conversation. We could talk about that real quick. The other day, the conversation, how people treat people different. You're not from here. You just got here. And versus a person that's been here. And so when you bring these two people together, there has to be a place where the tale of two cities can work. So I might come from Ward 3. I might come from Ward 8. And so in that room, we have Ward 8 in the room. We have Ward 3. We have Ward 5. We have people from like Ward 1. We have people from every part of the city in that discussion. And so it allows those two that they really want a position that DC was Chocolate City. And so to me, for a Latina woman, which is Jackie Reyes, who wants Ward 1, and for a Jewish woman by the name of, I say her first name wrong, Kenny is her name. I want them the opportunity to meet people. I think they have a right to meet people, but I also feel people have a right to question them. And I think that's what democracy is. Go ahead, Yogi G. I'm sorry.
I just want to say what's up to Winters, who joined us in the chat. I also wanted to send you some encouragement. Denise said, sounds great, Anna. You are very well spoken. She said, I'm a sarcastic person and that doesn't work in a lot of forums. I apologize if I sounded any other way. Honestly, after watching you two in the car, I enjoy it. And then Marcia said, has Muriel Bowser totally checked out from the process in DC politics? I think she has, in a way that she's not as aggressive is not the word, but it's the one that's on my lips. I don't think that she's been as on 10 as she was before she made her announcement that she wasn't returning. I think she's a little more outspoken about some of the things that's going on. As a matter of fact, I saw her the other day. They were asking her about her thoughts about what was happening in Minneapolis, and she, the 10 toes down that we were looking for on August 4th, all of a sudden she found it on January 9th. Right. Do what you will with that.
And you know why? Because it has nothing to do with DC. And at the end of the day, she's stepping down. But I will say this, whenever a mayor is about to not run and not be in, they try their hardest to make sure they have a legacy. So we're going to see a lot of things now. This is the time to start going to your mayor in DC and literally having a conversation. I want to be a homeowner. I want to do this. I want to do that, because they start giving out gifts at the end of when they know they're leaving. Because everyone knows that all of these people, and that's another thing in DC, when you have a mayor, I don't know, Yogi, I don't want to give the wrong information. How long she's been a mayor? She's been a mayor for a couple of terms.
2015.
Okay, so that's a while. So that people, well, not everyone, but usually the mayor brings her team. So this team has now been 10 years, and this team is now has to look for other work. So a lot of people have now kind of like stepped down and went into other positions. So as advocates for education, me and Yogi G, this plays a big role. Whenever there's a shift in a mayor, it affects too our advocacy for education, because we want to make sure that next candidate that goes in make sure they keep the same promises that the current mayor has given us. So, you know, with constant mayors change, it's good when it's the end of that term, because they tend to do things to go for their legacy, but it's not good when it's time for advocating, especially for Black and brown children.
Yeah.
I don't know
Marcia, man, the only way I know how to describe it, what's happening in DC right now, is if you have seen the Titanic and you know when that joint was sinking and everybody was scrambling trying to find them life rafts, we the people locked in the bottom of the boat. We don't even know what the life raft look like right now. We just out here just trying to, we right now looking for scrap to patch up the hole so that this joint don't take all of us down with it, because they already hitting the outskirts of the boat. So we just trying to make DC stand 10 toes down and hold on to a dream that we can still rule this, we can still have some say in what happens to us over here. Also, while sitting with the reality that, as I said before, we are in ground zero. And, you know, should they feel like that they don't like how America running no more, I don't know too many places we can go fast enough across the bridge in these DC streets to make it to be able to go on to another segment of A10 News Media Group. So I don't know. We normally do what, an hour? I'm starting to lose myself.
Yeah, I don't know. My brain in the beginning is because Russian all day, and just a lot going on in the news. Got your mind going fast. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Nah, she definitely, Marcia, listen, Muriel Bowser worked really hard to get that stadium off the ground, okay?
That's a legacy.
That's a legacy. And once she got signed still and delivered on that, that was it, baby cakes. So she's looking to make sure that that's still on the up and up, and that she don't have to be sacrificed in the Hunger Games before she get up out of here. So she's stepping light, but she also ain't got too much to say because she'll be out of here anyway. She had to answer for our chief of police, our former chief of police, Pamela Smith, who they were saying was inciting fraud in our data. So we're still dealing with that because we have an interim police chief. So old Trumpy done came and gave us a letter and told us that we need to come up with some answers. So we're dealing with that too, man. We just having a field day here in the District of Columbia. Marcia says she must not be looking for her kudos. She says she seems like the kind that would jump into the rafts with the women and children. Yeah, what? She probably push an old lady over and hop in and say ta-ta. That woman diabolical, man. Y'all throwing nails.
I will say one thing she did do. You know, we were in the boundary study in 2023 all the way until Yogi G was in the first 6 months. I ended up the last 6 months. And we argued back and forth on the boundary study about access to certain schools, the way the city is set up, the way they think the new population was going. It was huge. However, Muriel Bowser, the one thing she did do is, because 2026 was going to be the year that boundary study was actually going to be starting. She actually put at the bottom of the thing, she froze it. So people that like Maya admitted in her community, they would have had to go to a different school. They would have been rerouted to a different school. And a lot of people were fighting. Like I showed you today when I was driving up and I showed you Oyster Adams, they had attorneys. That school was fighting because they didn't want to be broken up. And in that boundary study, it did change a little bit, but Muriel Bowser put a line in the bottom of it and said it's frozen. So they will not be changing the way they came up with the boundary of the school. So a lot of those parents that live up on 16th Street Heights, all the way up in that area, they still get to go to those schools like, you know, well, it depends on what elementary, but as far as Shepherd's Park, Janie or any of them, to Deal and to Jackson Reed, because those parents still want to go to Jackson Reed. They're not picking MacArthur. They're not picking Coolidge. And so the other thing was that bus that we was fighting for, like how is it that one community has their own bus for students to get on and takes them to 3 different schools on one side of the city. The kids east of the river don't have a bus that takes them to their schools. And WMATA has actually taken that bus away from them. So it might have been it's a win in a way, but it's not a win because WMATA was like, we're not going to go back and forth with this, even though this group of people had this for 25 years. So they took their bus away from them because WMATA did not want to invest that money in having our kids with a student ride only bus, which I thought would have made big sense for our children, because you saw the data. The data is saying, before we go out, the data is saying the kids feel safe when they're traveling to school. I'll leave you on that note.
Well, listen, good people. Man, we gave you all we could on this good Sunday. Happy New Year, because I think is this our first show of the new year?
You're right. Man. No, is it?
I think it is. I think so. That's how you know it's time to say good night to the good people. We hope that y'all tune in the A10 News Media Group on Monday. I know Trevor and Mick got something good for you for the week. And tap in if you haven't. The replay gang is strong. Make sure y'all hit them like buttons. Go ahead, y'all remember A10 News Media Group has a goal of 50K. Please make sure y'all help out the cause so that you can continue to get the news that you can use. And we'll see you next Sunday. And on that note, peace.